Hello, my name is Michael Angelo Caruso, and I'm going to help you become a better speaker for the rest of your life. I think the ability to stand in front of a group of people and make a presentation is perhaps the most important business skill a person can have, whether you're speaking to a very large group, a small group like your department at work, or even in one-on-one scenarios. The ability to present in a natural, authentic modality is so important because when you're natural and authentic, you become believable. And this is the key to presentation success. So as you're preparing your presentation, I'll teach you how to create original content. I'll teach you how to speak without notes. And if you care to, I'll teach you my specialty, the one-slide PowerPoint presentation. It's very dramatic and very unusual, very, very effective for that reason. I'll help you with the three main areas of any presentation: the beginning, the middle, and the end. As I walk through these demos in our sample video today, I'll show you a couple of sample techniques that you'll find throughout the course. And it's one of the things that makes this course so effective for so many people. I've been delivering this content for 2 decades on 5 continents and 49 of the 50 states. And so we know it works, and I can't wait to get started with you. Let's talk about the beginning of the presentation. You know, as hard to believe as it may be, people are judging you in the first 15 seconds of your presentation. And that's why you've got to be really strong, really believable in the first 15 seconds. So I'll show you how to get the audience involved. I'll show you how to get the audience to do something in the first 15 seconds. When I say do something, I'm talking about raising their hand, writing something down, nodding their heads. You see, every presentation is about getting the audience to do something big at the end of the presentation. So I'll get the audience to do a lot of little things at the beginning so they're more easily swayed to do something big for me at the end of the presentation. We do brochures and we do websites to inform people, but we give presentations to change behavior. And this is the key. And it's an interesting thing as we talk about the chronology of a presentation. You know, everybody thinks they're pretty good at presenting. Well, everybody thinks they're pretty good at driving too, but there are a lot of dented cars on the freeway. So let's take care of the 3 sections I just talked about: the beginning, the middle, and the end. And I'll give you a little sample demo of a technique that you'll learn during the course in this little sample video. So the beginning of the presentation, very key. People are judging you. And so we want to get the audience involved, and we want to get them to do something small, like I said earlier. We also want to teach them something they don't know. Well, here's an interesting way you can do that. It's called the statistic. And here's how I do it often when I'm speaking and delivering tips on how to improve your presentation. I'll offer a statistic that nobody else in the room knows. Now, how do I know nobody knows this statistic? Because I've been delivering this statistic for some time. Like I said, the material is vetted and tested. So I might say to these people in the audience, I'll say, you know how many words there are in the English language? And people will say, no, I don't know. And some will guess a million. Some will say 250,000. Hardly anybody guesses right. And then I'll say, and I'll dwell on this, right? You think this, excellent. And I say, there are actually 500,000 words in the English language if you don't count gerunds and verb conjugations, right? 500,000 words in the English language. It's interesting that none of you know this, and you've been speaking English for quite some time. Now, what did I just do? I not only taught the audience something they don't know, which increases my currency, right, during the presentation. I become more believable. But I also taught them something that I know something they don't know, which is another key thing to do at the beginning of any presentation. So these are the types of things that you want to do in the beginning of any presentation. The middle of the presentation seems like it might be a cakewalk. After all, you're done being nervous now, you're into flow, but the middle of the presentation has at least 2 serious challenges. The first is the only unscripted moment of the entire presentation is in the middle of the presentation. It's called the Q&A segment. It's unscripted, and there are many sand traps in the Q&A segment. I'm going to show you lots of ways that you can navigate those sand traps and make things work for you during the middle of the presentation. Also, during the middle of the presentation, you start to use techniques like weaving, right? You start to use body language and nonverbals. I'll show you how to move around the room and take care of what's called the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming component of the presentation. I'll show you how to marry what you do with what you say, and this is called congruency. All of this in this course that I'm offering you right now. We'll also show you how to stage what's called the call to action, which is the very most important part of the presentation. This is when you want the audience to do something, and this happens in the third and final part of the presentation, which is called the close. So in the third segment, the close, or the ending of the presentation, you want to, of course, stage the call to action, and you're going to do this in a very specific way, and you're going to use what I call positive adjectives to stage the call to action. Positive adjectives are my secret weapon. They can be yours too, because they are emotional words and they get people excited, right? Exciting offer, thrilling opportunity, right? Unforgettable experience. And this is what gets people amped up and gets them to sign up for that big thing that you've been working toward during your entire presentation. Of course, I'll also show you some follow-up techniques after the presentation, such as how to keep in touch with your group if you care to, and even how to get more speaking engagements if that's your thing. My name is Michael Angelo Caruso. We have a fantastic course planned for you, and I can't wait to get started. I'll see you soon.